about that.
I think that we can get a unanimous decision on this. I think if we say, if a child goes missing, that we all agree that all other news channels all display the child's face and information at the same time until the child's found.
Right.
The news agencies and the stations.
Right.
I don't think there's anyone in America who would say that's not a good idea. So we make that one of our ideals. We make this a foundation of who we are as a people, to say that because we love our children and all of our children are important, and regardless of who you think of the parent is, people think children are beautiful and forget that that Black man or the Puerto Rican woman who was just killed, they had children. And our children are important. So I think that we can all agree that if a child is missing,
it's an important thing, and we can stop everything to make sure we find the kid. Right. Because we're at least we know what proximity it's in. You know, it can only get but so far.
Right. And here's the thing.
So much time.
The media, the TV does along with us. So we can say that if a child shows up missing, then we demand that all of the stations display the children. And this is an example of an ideal that's something that we should be able to agree on.
Listen, humanity needs their own broadcasting system.
Right.
Point blank.
You know, and
that's what we need. We need our own broadcasting system, not affiliated with their airwaves or anything, you know, dictated by their airwaves or anything like that. Humanity needs to be able to do a universal Morse code or of some sort. Right. We need some sort of coding that we can speak to each other as the people. Right. Because the system, they are the system. They have their circuits all in a row, but we have nothing.
Well, I agree. I'm just to build off of that, respectfully, we have nothing and everything at the same time.
Exactly. Mm-hmm.
They do things so terrible that they make you hate the system. And they make you forget that the system is not a bad thing. The system is only as bad as the person who's controlling it.
Yes, the people who are in there.
And the most fundamental things. Does anybody ever watch wildlife and nature? And when you see 3 lions terrorize 1,000 wildebeest, and you're saying to yourself, then you see the lion catch that wildebeest who they decide they're going to get. And then the lion gets them, and the wildebeest kicks the lion off of him and is handling himself with this lion. Now, if one wildebeest comes along, just one, that wildebeest is good and that lion is nothing. But all of them wildebeest just keep on running while this one lion is taking this beast down. When just one out of this 1,000 could fix all of it. You understand? The same way the lions know to get the beast to start running in one direction. The same way when you say we're animals, brother, we talk all the time, man. I feel like an animal every damn day. And I'm sitting around looking at these beasts who stare up these stampedes. And I look at them and I'm looking at them just thinking, God, you guys are weak. And they created a situation where you have to go opposite of the stampede because they've got the stampede going the wrong direction. So you have to go opposite of them and still not hurt them to get to them. They put you in a bad place. And that's the hardest part. They make it so the fight that we're fighting, us who are on this, we have to eat our own. We have to fight them to get to them. They've set us up good. But if we eliminate a person and just make it an ideal, it was a thing called the 10 Commandments for a reason. It used to be, remember, it used to be the universal law that if a person came to your town and was hungry, you would have to, by law, give them a loaf of bread. That was the law of the world. We've forgotten these things. We've forgotten ourselves. We've forgotten I don't want to say humanity, but we've forgotten
We've
ourselves.
lost our way,
We've lost our way.
for sure.
You know, these things are things that can be voted on, simple, and the fight that they want, they can be eliminated. We don't have to fight about Roe versus Wade. We can simply say, hey, if this is your frequency, you want to do it, you go there, we can vote on it. And I'm against voting. But it's a system in place right now.
No, you're against unfair, tricked kind of voting. You want
I'm
fair.
I'm against all voting. I think all voting is unfair. I think democracy is disgusting and unfair. Democracy is nothing more than voting to get rid of someone else's voice.
Do you know what government means?
To govern your mental. It's mind control.
It's mind control. So why don't people vote for themselves?
Damn right.
I was telling everybody to put Santana on the ballot last time.
Yeah, but I don't want to. But it's
Like,
the
why
ideas.
not? No, but it wasn't so much that. It was, why are we only choosing who they say we have to choose? I'm saying you could put anybody on there.
I'm saying this. If we could just have a truce and just look at the same thing at the same time. And if we can just choose some ideals, just some ideals that we don't have to fight over. If we can choose some ideals that we can agree on. And you want to tell you something, it takes nothing. It takes nothing to call a referendum and say, hey, all student debt, because there was a pandemic that we all know that every person's business and every American was affected by. We are voting to give us Americans a reset and eliminate all of our student debt and your mortgage. Now, it's not like it hasn't had a precedence because we've done it twice in the past 20 years. We did it under Obama and under Bush. But we can do this for ourselves.
Yeah.
Start over and make ideals.
Yeah, because it seems when I say the system, I'm saying that the system is the system and they have a system in place. So when their businesses collapse, i.e. your banks and all of these things, they get what? They get bailed out.
Right.
We have nothing set up for ourselves to be able to get bailed out because it has not happened yet where the people have been completely forgiven and get to start over. That's never happened.
Like literally, we could vote ourselves out of this shit without having to kill anybody. We could just call a vote and listen to this. We're Americans.
Yes.
And we're mankind, which means that we're inherently selfish. We do it for our own interests. Who in America or in the world would not vote to say, yes, I would like to cancel all of my debts one time. Give us a one-time ability to cancel my debts because there was a pandemic. The world was coming to an end. You mean that I can't eliminate my debts? My job has disappeared. I lost my spouse. I lost my mind. I think that because the world shut down and stopped, we should be able to say we need to eliminate our debts. If you're resetting us and telling us we have to live in this existence, then the debt that's been accrued under this thing that we had no control over should be erased. And guess what? We can do it. We can vote it in, and we don't have. And who's going to say no? Keep my debt. I want my damn debt. Who's going to ask for that?
What do you think is the Social Security number, man?
It's
you ever seen the cows and when they get stamped with the number on the ear?
Right.
So what that means is that you're worth millions of dollars and they're trading your value in the stock market. So you want me to pay that debt? Well, there's enough money that you're stealing from me already. Why don't you pay yourself? But you see, most people are not aware of this. So they don't know how to get out of it. And it's simply as turning your back on it. Like you said, 1,000 people ruling us. How many of us? If everybody turns their back, they can't do it.
But that's the thing. See, this thing with this algorithm has had me doing a lot of studying. And 1918 in China, if you look at what happened in 1918 China, you're going to find that that's exactly what they did. The Parliament of 1918 China, it began to be so corrupt that the delegates all turned their backs and walked away. In doing so, it created a vacuum that allowed all of the delegate seats to be filled by the devil. It was the end of what China being a country, and then that's the beginning of China becoming a republic. Coincidentally, 13 years later, China has its worst flood in over 300 years. 3 million people died. So that put me in a really bad mood because that put me in a bad place because that was my solution, just to walk away. And I saw what happened with Walked Away. What Walked Away was they lost.
You still get it.
They lost their soul.
Yeah.
China lost its soul when in 1918 China ceased to exist as China. It lost its soul, and its last opportunity it got in a form of Bruce Lee, and we saw what happened to him.
So you know what we need to tell people. Let's make, you know how they keep trying to push this, the new norm. Well, let's make the new norm what's fair.
Yeah, let's reset.
The new norm is let's go. We're gonna go ahead and concede to this reset.
Yeah.
Okay, we'll go ahead and do it.
Let's give it this.
Let's make it a hard reset. Let's make it a hard reset for everybody, because it's like the banks can't keep getting forgiven.
Listen, I would.
This is my thing, and you guys already know. In my heart of hearts, you cannot fight a system that was never set up for us. That's my thing.
Yeah.
We can come up with so many ideas. We can come up with this. If we try to vote, this system, and these are all amazing ideas. Don't get me wrong. I'm not taking anything away from that. But even in that mindset, it's not going to work in a system that was never created for us. You understand what I'm saying?
No,
that's the thing. And I've come to understand that because I've seen people fight it. I've seen people not fight it. I've seen people turn their back. And then at the end of the day, they're still running their system because it was never for us.
Right.
So respectfully,
you see what I'm saying?
Respectfully, I agree 99%, but that 1% says to me that this system that's been put in place is, in particular, this one here that we're calling, this great experiment that we're calling America, has been in place since 1776, this new experiment. And for them to pull this move that we're calling this pandemic that's going on right now, took them roughly 300 years to do. So for it to take so long lets you know that they had to manipulate us for 300 years into dumbing us down so much where they can pull this thing off for us. And by manipulating us, they're lying to us. So what I'm trying to get at is this. If they have to keep manipulating us and lying to us into doing something stupid, that means that inherently most of us are good. So that's why I want to save us. It's because the decisions that we're making out of fear, but we're being tricked. So that means that's good in us. So we're worth it. So that's the only reason why I even talk to people. But how do I say it?
Well, power is in numbers.
But
it's true.
The problem is we haven't identified who the real culprits were. And that's what the issue is. It's simple. You keep talking about this.
It goes back to the Vatican. Like that's just,
of course.
It goes back to the Pope. It goes back to the Spanish. It has nothing to do with America. It has nothing to do with Joe Biden. This is just a Spanish Inquisition.
No, America is the incubator.
But it's everything. It's what we were talking about. It's cutting off the head.
So we got to take the Pope out. We got to take the Vatican. That's what we have to take out. We can't just take out the United States because the United States.
No, that's the whole thing.
That's the United States. Cutting off the head. That's the head.
What do they say that all roads go back to Rome? Lead to Rome.
Right. But remember, Rome isn't a place. Rome is a concept. Remember, America's the new Rome. Remember, America isn't a place. America is a concept. America is simply the concept of America is you got to make somebody else rich before you become rich yourself. It's a concept that could be anywhere. So Rome is simply a concept. America just represents the new Rome, but this is the armed wing of Rome. The reason why
but who created the concept? Where does the concept come from?
the concept initially, like everything else, started off something good, because all the things that we have in place for our system seemingly are beneficial and have benefited people at some time. And the problem is this: we've had leadership of people who we didn't know who they were. And if you look at any movie that's talking about demons and demonic possessions, they tell you that you cannot exorcise a demon until you call the demon out. So right now, this is we're into the age of Aquarius, and it's time for us to call the demons out. It's time for us to say, hey, Jay-Z, you are a demon. It's time for us to say, Babyface, you are a demon. It's time for everyone to, people say Rothschild, people say Illuminati, but people don't say the name. Say the name and expose them.
Right.
Because I know
it's to hide behind
the WHO.
Yeah.
It's like when you're saying
you
YouTube,
get to say who?
Yeah, you get to say YouTube took my page down for nothing. Well, you know what? The new standard is this. It's not YouTube. You tell me the person's name, their department, their phone number, their email address. And I'll be goddamn, see how many times people's pages get taken down when there's a person to talk to. Eliminate these labels and names.
Everything is run by AI. Everything is AI.
Yeah, it is but see, this is where I go back to this whole system that we're talking about. We existed without a system because we knew the system was nature. We don't need a system. Right. We already have a system. You understand what I'm saying? So if we keep trying to make, my thing is if we.
Yeah, you can't make a deal with the devil.
You can't.
Like this system, we're not going to be able to create this system or correct it. Just put it that way, because we never had a system. When they placed this system.
We can system out of a system because.
Oh yeah, we can. Go back to our system.
Yeah, exactly. Yes, exactly. Yeah, but you need a system to even system out of the system.
Yeah, because you got to have a place to live.
You have a place to live and a path to track.
Yeah.
Like if we say, hey, listen, we've had enough, we're gonna all go to Brazil, then we need a system to be able to get us from to and fro, is what I'm saying. So even with that, we need.
I see what you're saying.
We need even a system to get out of the system.
You just play the game. You play the dirty game. You plan. You strategize, and then you build the system.
You system out,
but it's got to start with a small group of people first, and then all the people will come.
Right, and system out though. So my whole point is, the system. You have to system out. It's the same way when you're about to quit your job. It's like you give you 2 weeks notice, and you set yourself up to have a system in place to get you away from that other system. So what I'm saying is, we need a system out of this existing system, but systems are not bad. It's only wicked when you have wicked men control it. I personally would love an end to all systems. Me personally, I wish there were no systems in the world, but I'm a Scorpio. So of course I want that.
Yeah, and listen, and a system is not a bad thing. Having fire departments near your community is a great thing, because you can have someone come to you in the event of an emergency, or if you have a fire, these things are not bad things.
And the community could be the system.
Yeah.
Because so what I mean is, I hate systems more than all y'all. I promise you.
And the police, that should not be a bad thing. It should be okay for something to be going on. Let's say a dispute, anything, and some sort of third-party negotiation can be called in to diffuse things.
It is.
But it should not be a person showing up to a door with guns and all of this stuff if it's already a hostile.
The thing, the police is not there to protect us. They are here to protect the banks.
The system.
That's right.
Yeah.
That's what the system is
built corrupted. For them.
It's a system that's supposed to work, but it's corrupted.
And that's exactly what I'm trying to highlight. I'm trying to show that, listen, how we got into this is because ideally the sound of a system, an organized system, is a good thing. People are going to go along with that because, listen, you tell people that you're going to have things organized and we're going to get food shipped in from all these different places and we don't have to leave and we get to have this, our kids to be able to go here to get education and, you know, everything that makes the world go round. Someone can have these things available for us and we contribute in our own way. That doesn't sound like a bad thing, but it is when you have some sort of
demon,
yeah, some demonic energies or some witchcraft or something like that, something that's not us ruling us. There's a problem.
That's the thing, because you see think about the biggest companies out there. All of them are connected. All of them are connected. All systems are connected. The hospitals are connected, or the medical industry, the pharmaceutical industry, the food industry, all the big industries, big companies, Walmart, you name it. Doesn't matter.
But listen, think about it. It would not be a bad thing if they were giving us good stuff. Do you understand?
But
it wouldn't be a bad thing. It's bad because of what they're giving us, what they're choosing to do to us, because it's something demonic.
But you see, it's 10,000 people, right? I mean, 10,000 or 1,000. Let's just use 1,000 people ruling the rest of the world, right? Why? Because we gave our power away.
Right. That's why we
gotta take it back.
And that's why I hate voting. That's why I despise voting.
Yeah, I don't do nothing because this is my thing. To get back to that place that we're talking about, which we will, is that we got to get back to the basics. And what were the basics?
And you know what?
Was a community. Everybody had their own talent and their skill. Everybody abided by the sovereignty, by the rules of sovereignty land, because everybody knew they were powerful and they had their own sovereignty. You don't mess with your neighbor. Love your neighbor like you love yourself. That's the system, that's the foundation that you have to build.
But then you get people to come in with guns.
Right.
And then it's over.
Right. And to speak on that, these industries are connected. Yes, 100%. But we've forgotten that we are connected. All of us right now are connected. We never stop being connected. We keep forgetting that we're connected. And even at this point right now, we're on a low frequency and we are connected right now together with fear.
You know what?
All of us are connected with fear. And even if it's not the right place to be, we are still together scared.
Scared because you don't know what to do. And guess what? And can we all agree that all of the worst things that has happened in the world, every last one, the worst things that you could ever imagine that you heard about that happened in the world, all were done by a government. Can we all agree to that?
Most of the songs sung by in India, what is it, by the Mahabharata, were the killing of kings. And I don't condone that, because again, we got to stop it somewhere.
Yeah, I'm not saying anything like that. Well, all I'm saying is that as humanity, can't we agree, can mankind agree that all of the worst things that has been seen by mankind was done by the system that is ruling us?
Absolutely.
Can we just, so if we could just sit and just look at that, because it's never been a situation where humanity has done these horrible deeds. It's never been that.
So here's a solution. Let's choose a date, us. Because I think we are a fair representation of what our country truly looks like. Because I'll be goddamn, listen, y'all are Americans, okay? Can you dig it?
I'm Puerto Rican.
That's true. Yeah, that's true. We'll get to you later.
I'm not even Puerto Rican. I'm messing with you. I'm not even that label.
What I'm saying,
the people ask me where you're from, and I tell them I'm from the world.
Yeah,
that's right.
Exactly.
So,
exactly.
Let me say this.
I'm part of mankind.
There you go. That's the credo. That's what it needs to be.
100%.
I'm a mankind. Hey, bro, you look like a fish. Where you from?
So let's do this. Let's everybody go outside. Let's do like we did when we was young, and let's everybody choose a day during the middle of the week and take a day off for work, and everybody have a block party.
I was just saying
The
that.
whole
And we
world,
turn
the
off the
whole
cell
world,
phones.
turn off the TVs,
Nobody
and just turn the
takes
radio
cell
off.
phones.
In everybody's neighborhood, everybody just come outside and see your neighbor.
Yeah.
Let's see each other. Come outside and see your neighbor. Let's choose a day. Let's choose one of their days. Let's choose a powerful day and go outside and let's see each other. And let us control it. You know, let us say, listen, we talk to each other. Let us not go on an MS shit DC and shit NN and Fox and talk about this. Let us do something outside of the system. Let us just see each other again. Let us remember that it used to be fun to go outside and grill. Let us just go outside and go, let us just go, or everybody go outside again and remember how great life used to be when you could go outside and play. Yeah. Let's do it for one day. Because I promise you, if we do it for one day, we're not going back to this again. You understand? There's no way in the world we go back to this after seeing what we have. Because if you just go outside, you don't even know it's a COVID going on.
Right.
You don't even know. You don't know if anything's going on until you come in the house and the TV tell you that everybody's dying. But I look outside, there's a lake. And it's like, it's a lake outside. It's beautiful. People are out here. So it's a simple solution. If we just count, if you look at the warrior speech, if you can pull it up, can you pull up the warrior speech from Osiris? The story of Osiris, of course, the movie Warriors is actually a remake of the story of Osiris. And it's showing about how Osiris ran and how he fell. And this movie here, Warriors, you have this character who is a regular character trying to explain to all the gangs that they are being manipulated by a system to keep them constantly fighting. And he was trying to explain to this gang, all the gangs in the city, that the system keeps us fighting each other over pennies and crumbs while they take everything from us. When we are plentiful, let's create our own system where we control everything, because it's 370 million of us and just 1,000 of them. Why are we listening to them? I understand Black people don't like white people and white people don't like Black people, and Mexicans don't like Cubans and Cubans don't like Mexicans. But I think that if we can divide all this equally amongst us, there's enough for everybody to get what they want. Understand that why are we fighting over land and resources when everyone could get 40 acres and a mule in America right now? Why can't we vote to divide the land equally amongst everybody in America? We could, but who's doing it? No one. But it could be done that simple, but everyone's too busy looking at the Black guy with the gold teeth who has more, or the Jewish guy who owns a chain of liquor stores. And it's like, stop. Why don't we just make sure everyone's basic needs are taken care of and make ideals where we make sure they're taken care of. We make it like this used to be the law. The world's law was if a stranger comes into your village with nothing, it is the law that you have to give him a loaf of bread. We can do that again. Who couldn't give a person a loaf of bread? Which one of us could not give a person a loaf of bread?
Yeah, brother, that's called consciousness.
But who couldn't do it? Who couldn't give a person a loaf of bread?
I think
Now,
I think people were doing that before they implemented the law.
I think by
Like,
nature,
right,
people
it was
that
do
was
that.
just
right,
natural law.
But that's my whole point. It was the natural law. because it is unnatural to watch your fellow man be hungry and you have abundance.
Absolutely.
So it turned, we're saying it's a system, but in actuality, the system is exactly what you said, is nature, it's the natural law.
Yeah. If
It's the
people
same
remember
thing.
that the real law is nature, is the universe. That's
Exactly.
the real law we should be following, not man's law. Then everything goes back into place. But that's gonna take time. It's happening. We came out of a dark age, Pisces, which is confusion and religion and all that, and people just not knowing what's happening. And now there's people like us that are talking about this, the age of Aquarius, which is fixed air thinking, and bringing, or the what's it called, the apocalypse, the unveiling, that's what's happening now. I've seen it more and more. I see more and more people waking up. So all we got to do, my brother, is unite, keep communicating this, and be an example.
Yeah, that's it.
And
Yeah,
that's a good idea, by the way, like going out on the neighborhood and like maybe talking to people and tell them, hey, let's have one day, the entire block, just go outside and talk and chill.
everybody, everybody, like, how hard would it be? And like, with now, do you understand that with what I get most joy out of more than anything else is turning something terrible into something beautiful. And we have a system now that you are in Tennessee, Raphael is in Florida, and we are hiding in Mexico, but we are talking and seeing each other. So if you're able to talk to us from here in these different places, then you're able to communicate with people in Tennessee. Raphael, you're able to communicate with people in Florida, and us, we're able to communicate with people here where we can say, hey, can we go outside one day? Can we just go outside, all of us,
and raise the frequency,
and just go outside and get to know our neighbors again? We have the platforms. I mean, like, literally, would it be hard for us to call 5 different platforms? I mean, come on. We can call Santos right now. Like, hey, Santos, we're trying to get this thing, people going outside. Santos is down. He's going to be able to call 20 people in 20 countries. I mean, this is something that we can do without anybody.
Yeah.
We can go outside and play day, whatever we call it. But we know enough people organically around the world where we can say, okay, let's go outside. Because you know how when you start living life a certain way, you can't go back to a certain thing. It's like once your eyes are open, you can't go back to something. Well, when people go outside and everyone is outside and everybody's fine, it's going to be hard to convince them that they're dying again, And, I think that's a start. Because if we could do it one day, then I think it's a start. I think it's a simple, easy, doable one. I think it's doable. And I think that the energies are on our side. The energies are on our side.
Absolutely.
But did you find that warrior speech, the Cyrus speech?
Yeah, I did. That's what I was going to say. We got 5 minutes, but that's what I was going to say. Now I understand why you say, can you dig it?
Play it. If you could play it, please. Play it, please.
Yeah, it's 5 minutes. We'll run this.
Play it.
We gotta get together, have some plátano sushi, man.
Dig it. Dig it. This speech.
I'm gonna tell you this. I'm gonna play this, but they're gonna take it off.
It's worth it.
But is it gonna have sound?
Yeah, that's what it did to my one. Yeah, I don't care. I'm just letting you know.
Yeah, I'll play it on Rumble.
No, we can't hear it, so turn it off. It's not worth it.
Yeah, you can't even hear it.
Yeah, yeah. So
this speech, he's trying to explain to everybody that we're being manipulated.
What if you just play the audio from your side and you could just play it like on the phone? We could just play it on a phone and you could just hear it. How about that?
Perfect.
It's more than one way to skin a cat, right?
Yeah,
it's all good.
So basically,
what's it called again?
This is the movie Warriors.
It's called Cyrus Full Speech, The Warriors.
Yeah. And Cyrus Full Speech. And he's trying to explain to all these people fighting in the streets from all these different communities and different neighborhoods and different ethnic backgrounds that you're being manipulated into fighting each other. And we are numbered in the hundreds of thousands, and we're being manipulated by a small group of buffoons. Let's stop fighting, and we can protect each other under one umbrella, i.e. Hiawatha. If you make peace with your neighbor, then that becomes your protector. So he convinced all the gangs to make peace.
Here we go. I'm gonna play it so maybe you can hear it. Let me know if you can hear it.
Can you count, suckers? I say the future is ours. If you can count. Go ahead, bro. Now look what we have here before us. We've got the Saracens sitting next to the Jones Street boys. We've got the Moon Runners right by the Van Cortlandt Rangers. Nobody is wasting nobody. That is a miracle. And miracles is the way things ought to be.
Yeah, he sounds way better.
Now here's the sum total. One gang could run this city. One gang. Nothing would move without us allowing it to happen. We tax the crime syndicates, the police, because we got the streets, suckers. And you dig it.
This is the most important part right here. Most important part.
The problem in the past has been the man turning us